Welcome to EntreProgrammers Podcast, the podcast for developreneurs, where you get to be a fly on the wall listening to real conversations of developers trying to tackle the challenges they face as entrepreneurs.
This episode of the EntreProgrammers is brought to you in part by Barometrics.io, SaaS analytics for Stripe. Have you ever wondered what your lifetime value is for your customers? Or what about the churn rate? How often you're losing customers? Are you calculating that junk manually right now? I sure hope not, because you've probably gouged out your eyes if you are. So instead of doing all of that work manually and potentially getting it wrong, I highly recommend that you look at Barometrics.io. It's SaaS analytics for your Stripe account in a single click. Seriously, it's that easy. So check it out at barometrics.io/EntreProgrammers.
We're on the air. That's how all our episodes start off, by the way. They're like,
I think so. Actually, I'm pretty sure David edits out the "Okay, we're on the air."
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like a trademark.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've heard it edited out a few times. Maybe not every time.
We should start it with like Transformers roll out. Avengers assemble.
Exactly.
My favorite thing is this.
Care Bears, care.
That's especially appropriate for Derick.
Yes, totally.
There's this guy on YouTube, Elliot Hulse, that I've told you guys about before.
Yeah.
I want to steal his thing. At the end of his videos, he says, "Done."
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like
Nice.
I've seen a few of those, and I like that. It's like, okay, you're done. I get it. Thanks.
but it's too like unique. I can't really steal it because it would be too obvious. So
Yeah.
Do something like I'm out, and then just close it.
I'll just drop the mic every time.
That's right.
That would actually go really well into our outro, you know?
Probably would.
Done.
Done. Speaking of done, I got my my launch sequence done. Yay!
All right,
Yeah.
Yay.
MongooseJS thing. All right, so I've tweaked the crap out of this since I sent it to you guys yesterday. So, do we want to? I really want to hear you guys tear apart my landing page. I know John said he really liked my launch sequence emails, which I was quite happy with as well. But I want to hear about this landing page. What did I do wrong? Where can I improve?
Well, I spent a bunch of time going through it last night, and then you changed everything.
Oh, did you change it?
He changed it, yeah, since last night.
Oh,
So-
okay. My things to pick on are still there. Just
Okay.
Well, Derick, I should have known better, because Derick's definitely an on-the-fly tweaker.
Yes.
So.
Yeah,
Hey, look,
I'm
there's
not
a
much of
picture
a planner. There is. Yes.
I need to refresh the page so I can see the latest version here.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm a first draft ship it guy. Like,
Oh, I totally did that.
Me too.
I wrote the most god-awful
Yeah.
launch page landing junk ever, and I shipped it. And then I started just going back and editing and tweaking and thinking. And I mean, I certainly don't wait until it's done before I before I put it out there.
okay, I'll start since I'm ready to go.
Okay.
So, and this is not from my genius, right? Okay, so I just have to.
I guess
caveat this.
before we do start, for anybody that's wondering, this is for my MongooseJS Fundamentals Screencast package, which by the time you hear this will already be live. So you can pick it up at watchmecode.net/downloads/mongoosejs-fundamentals.
You need a short code for that.
I do need a
Pretty
short
link.
code. That's
Yeah.
pretty awful.
Yeah, make a short code. We'll put it in the show notes, and then
Yes.
or actually
Just make
think
it
of
up
what
now.
the short code. Yeah, make it up
Yeah.
now.
Here, I'll go to Bitly and I'll create one.
We'll do Derick Bailey.
Just-
well, you should do you need pretty link on either DerickBailey.com or.
I do, but I don't have that set up right now.
Okay, here's it. DerickBailey.com/mongoose.
Mongoose. Yeah.
There we go. That's what the link will be. Now you're committed to
Okay.
do pretty link on there.
I don't know how to do that, but I'll make it work.
It's really easy.
DerickBailey.com/mongoose.
Super
If you
easy
make
to
it
set.
/mongoose, then you have to show an animal with a cobra in its teeth.
Well, no, okay, let's change it slightly. Watchmecode.net/mongoose.
Oh, there you go.
Because this
Okay,
is Watchmecode.
fair. Yeah.
So now we've given out 4 URLs for
Yes.
this thing.
Yeah, but the one is watchmecode.net/mongoose.
That's the final one. That'll be it.
Okay.
Okay.
So my caveat is that this is not from me. This is me channeling what I just read last night and the night before on the Copy Hackers book, right? So this is.
I'm expecting you to morph into Joanna Weeb right now.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you unabashed criticism because it's not actually me. So this is actually going to be more beneficial
Just
to you.
hate Joanna.
Okay. So the first thing, because I read the headline thing and the call to action book, both of those. The headline, the MongooseJS fundamental screencast package. You're telling me what the page is. So it's not a good headline. The headline should tell me, attract attention and implicit some kind of value that I'm going to get, some kind of something that's going to be sticky, that's going to give the user more than what they already know about it, something that will get them to read on.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's that was my first point.
I'm waiting for you to tell me what to type. Editing right now.
That was my no. We're not going to edit this as we go here. This is like Google Docs live editing. No.
It's like you don't do code reviews and change the code. You rip it apart.
So yeah, this was my first point as well. So basically, the type of headline that you got here is pretty much just naming the product. And the only time that you can really get away with that is when your customer already knows, like basically if you're writing a supermarket sales flyer, you can get away with that because somebody already knows what, T-bone steak is. Yeah. And all they need to know is that there's a special price on it. So, T-bone steak, 50 cents off, or whatever, a pound. That works in a supermarket flyer, but here they don't know you're introducing a new product, so they don't know anything about it. Yeah. So you need to start with something that's a benefit to them.
So without actually making any edits to the page, which, give me some real suggestions here. Give me some ideas. Just toss some stuff out there that I can think about because I understand what you're saying. I just don't know how to turn that into an actual headline.
So something like this might be like, in less than 2 hours, you could be up and running with MongooseJS. That's probably not the best thing, but just
I see where you're going though.
One example, Derick, you could look at, it's a pretty decent page, is the Sketching with CSS page.
Okay.
Sales page, sketchingwithcss.com, and his headline is "Write CSS as fast as you can sketch."
Nice.
Okay.
That is a pretty clear benefit.
Yes, it is.
Having done some Photoshop layout myself, I understand what I'm getting. So you want to. I would even pull it up back a level from what John said and try to show them what they'll actually be able to do once they're done with your course. And this is where it's going to get tricky because I don't know what's in your course, so it's really hard. You understand what we're saying, but it's hard for us to come up with suggestions because I don't really know what's in the course.
Oh, you know what? It's right there, actually, right under his copy, right under his headline, right? See that copy? That should be the headline, just condensed.
Which sentence?
Because he's giving the value proposition. He's saying, need to get up to speed quickly without paying thousands of dollars on on-site training or classroom setting. I've put together my bundle. So essentially, I mean, if that's your selling point, I think you can make the headline be something around the fact that you could quickly, not spending thousands of dollars on classroom training, Mongoose. You know what I'm saying?
And you might want to I'm getting we're getting echo back from someone.
I'm getting a ton of echo from someone. Let me redo my.
I'm not hearing it. It's probably me.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there's echo in the room and you don't know, it's you. So I would even pull it back and think about what are the benefits of using Mongo in an app. See if you can convey that, because you're assuming right now, we're assuming that they already know what Mongo is but then you're also explaining what Mongo. What Mongo is.
MongoDB and MongooseJS. Yeah, and I do have that right below there. What is MongoDB? Why MongooseJS?
Right.
True. So, and I really think that headline could use a subhead when I think you've got enough I mean, obviously, once you tweak the headline, but you might as well have a subhead to give even more there at this point.
Yeah, that's the way the page is currently built. I can't really do a subhead without, because you see where the date is right below the title.
Right.
I can't really get rid of that on this one page.
Oh, I see.
Can you use do you have a landing page template that you could use?
I do.
Because one of my other suggestions was going to be to get rid of the navigation.
Okay.
Yep.
So it might be a good idea to just go to the landing page, and you could just slap HTML in there, and it could be
Right.
whatever you want it to be. All right.
Okay. All right. I'll think about. I'll try putting it into the landing page template. So the interesting thing about that, I'm using Easy Digital Downloads now, which this is the product page. This is not really a landing page. I think I'm kind of abusing the product page to make it a landing page.
Yeah.
So
okay,
I probably should. I probably should make this a landing page and then have the actual product page just be a minimal description of what it is.
All right. So the next.
Yeah, I agree. So you want a page where it's, I've kind of been qualified and now I'm ready to just buy it.
You definitely want to be able to drop it straight into the shopping cart, though.
Right, and I can do that from the landing page still. The EDD has a short code. Like if you scroll down this page that I have, you'll see that $99 buy MongooseJS fundamental button in a couple of different places.
Yeah.
And that's a short code that I use that I put in place in order to add that button.
So that's the next thing I was going to talk about, actually.
Okay.
Okay. So the button is tiny.
Yep.
Small. It needs to be big because this is your call to action.
Okay.
And it needs to not be a description of what it is, but of the value that they'll get. It could also use a I forget what they call it, like one of those side riders next to it, like overcoming objections right by the action, or giving them an incentive to click the call to action, something like right next to it, like a text blurb that says, it's guaranteed money back, 30-day guarantee, or you'll be up and running with MongooJS real quickly, or click this now. It might be the best choice you make today, or something to encourage them.
Yeah, see, I tried to do that a little bit. If you look at that, what is MongoDB, what is MongoosJS section, the sentence right above the button, I tried to go down that path.
Yeah, it just needs to be like, the button needs to be bigger.
Right.
The button text itself needs to be a value proposition. When you click this, you get this,
Okay.
and then that text, the whole thing needs to be kind of separated, spaced out from the rest. And if that text is what you're going to do to a click inducer, that's what it's called,
Right.
then it needs to be more tied to the button, like in a box with the button, something that,
Okay.
that
I would
really draws their
say,
eye.
yeah, for you, Derick, with your handwritten style, go with handwriting, and just stick it in an image next to it.
Okay.
Yeah, I also think you should have one above the fold so that it's really easy. So if somebody comes in and they see the value proposition right away, then it's like click. And then if they get a little further down, have another option to click.
And while we're talking above the fold, I love your drawings, but I think this takes up too much room.
Is it?
Above the fold? Yeah, I think you need to get right into the meat of it a lot quicker, and this requires a lot of scrolling.
Yeah, see, when there was just text at the top originally, and it was plain and boring and unattractive.
Put it off to the side.
Okay.
Like right align it. Let the text flow next to it.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can play with the size a little bit too so that you get the right things in the right place above the fold and not causing that issue. And I think somebody else mentioned like a landing template.
Whoa! Chuck is going all robot voice.
Cylon.
That
I don't think
Now
he
it's
is.
auto-tune.
That is totally auto-tuned to Cylon right there.
I think he's actually singing now.
I think so.
No,
I think he's actually describing things and nobody can hear him except him.
Yeah.
That was awful.
I think he realizes we can't hear him now.
Yeah.
He just muted.
He just muted.
Wow.
Play by
Oh
play.
man, I'm
That
sorry,
was
guys.
epic.
We totally missed everything you just said. You went like the auto-tune Cylon voice.
It's like, do you have like an effects pedal? Did you just like?
Did you accidentally
plug into-
turn on the distortion?
Yeah.
It was totally. I mean, it was bad.
That's funny because now you guys are coming out of the speakers. I'm having some hardware issues, I guess, this morning.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
but,
probably
yeah.
where the echo was coming from.
Yeah, that would make
Yeah.
sense.
You're
Is the
looking a
echo
little
still
bit
there?
like powder this morning, so
I want to see you put a spoon on your nose and then make it levitate.
There we go. Are you still getting an echo, guys?
Oh, wait a minute! It just clicked for me.
I'm
It just
not
clicked
hearing
for me why your head is shaved. It just clicked for me
Okay.
because I think I had said like one of the things that I did to, and maybe it's not related, but like to like remind me every day of my dedication to like my goal of like losing weight, or was I shaved my head. So I'm taking a guess, but
I thought Chuck was always shaved-headed.
I shave my head periodically, and yeah, it's just kind of a thing for me. But I don't have hair right here,
oh, okay. No mohawk.
So-
Never gonna get.
so
a
when I
mohawk.
grow it out, it looks funny, so I shave it off.
Okay. Well, I give you a nobler credit.
So anyway, so what I was saying here is that somebody mentioned making it look more like a landing page, and you've got all of this stuff at the top that's taking up space.
Right.
So the Watch Me Code header, all episodes, free episodes. And so if it's not obvious where you want them to go, then it's like,
Right.
okay, which of all of these things do I need to click? And it'd be easier just to make it all go away.
Okay.
Let's see. The other thing I would say is every single one of your headlines is a question. There, it's not bad to have them be questions, but I think that they should just be more of drawing you into the text, more of the same problem with the top headline.
Okay.
It's what is MongoDB? Why MongooseJS? It tells you what's going to be there, but it'd be better to have something a little bit more, I want to say provocative, something that would get them to read it, like something, a question that's, something that they want to find the answer to. Same thing like what's in the package or who's this package for. Like those are the questions, but I think the headline could still be better in those cases where it's more drawing you in, like, why do I want to read this?
Gotcha.
I don't know what Josh thinks about that.
Yeah, I know that makes sense.
Okay.
One thing, and this is kind of a problem for Watch Me Code too. The thumbnails. Let me see if they're still there. The thumbnails don't really do much for you.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there.
Right.
I have a thought on that, but keep going.
That's pretty much it. I see the idea, and it's nice to show. I think what John did with his was really effective, where you show it more as like a physical spread.
Right.
That could be effective, but I don't think this is really helping you. Chuck, what you're going to say?
Well, one thing is they're too small for me to read just looking at them.
Yep.
So I basically see a bunch of boxes. So you could make them a little bit bigger, and that might help. The other thing is they're all they all look the same.
Right.
Yeah.
The difference is the text and the MongoDB versus Mongoose logo.
Right.
So, I think there's something there. Like I can visualize that I'm going to get 10 videos, and so I don't have a problem with them being there. But if you're going to put them in there so that I can actually look at them and read them.
Yeah. So I've got a better image that I can use in place of this. It's an image that I used in the ads for Ruby Rogues and JS Jabber. Actually, it's the Thunderbolt monitor, the Mac, the iPad, and the iPhone all sitting next to each other, and it's got yellow background with a JS logo
Yeah, I remember that.
and a video play button in the middle of each screen. So I could drop that in place of these 10 title images, because
I think that would be better.
I agree that these images aren't really doing much for me. I was just kind of like, well, I need something visual here. Let's throw these in.
The 10 is good, but I think if you make it look more like a physical thing, like 10 videos stacked on top of each other, like, where you can kind of, because people like to buy things that are neatly packaged, right? That look like something. So packaging is a huge motivator for someone. So it feels like they're getting a lot of stuff, like it's a bundle of stuff. That kind of feeling. I would say you still want to keep that. Like, you don't want to reduce it down and make it look like it's just one small thing. You want to make it look like it's a big. I mean, you're getting a lot of things. Each one of these is a physical thing, or not a physical thing, but to have that appearance of that, I think that's a good motivator.
Right.
I would also, underneath that, the episodes, I would lose the episode numbers.
Okay.
Because it's like just padding, and it actually draws your eye more than the title. So those are, that's what I really care about, is what I'm going to actually learn.
Yeah, one other thing that I'm seeing here, and I'm actually trying to punch in the URL on my phone, but Chrome has you can see this on a mobile device, and there's some right-left scrolling if you go to iPhone size on Chrome. I'm actually going to pull it up on my iPhone just so I can see what it looks like there. But anyway, so it's...
How do you get the iPhone? Oh, there it is. I see.
It's in the Dev Tools, I think, right?
It's in the Dev Tools in the top.
Top left corner is an iPhone icon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not seeing any left-right scrolling.
So the text it goes past the edge of the screen for me.
One of the images might be forcing the width.
Yeah, it could be. But I'm just using the iPhone 5. Oh, no, that's better. Oh yeah, so once I got it switched, it is better. It doesn't go over to the side. I have to say those buttons are really tiny though.
Yeah, wow, that's bad. You can't read those buttons. Oh, don't even know it's a button.
Well, if you zoom in like 6 times, right, you can.
Yeah, totally.
There's another thing. Let's see. At the very bottom, you say, with the 30-day money-back guarantee, you say, if you don't like it, just send me an email and tell me why you want your money back.
Yeah.
I mean, but obviously I'm going to be a little bit hypocritical here because
John's like, you have to come to his house and make him dinner.
I'm going to take you out to dinner, and we're going to have a romantic entanglement before I give you your money back.
It's just how you word it. It's just how it's all in how you word it. Because see, the way I did it on mine, not that I'm some kind of expert at this, but is I offered it as a bonus. I'm going to give you a Skype call to give you personal coaching, and I will, and that's a bonus. But it's a I don't know, the way that you've worded it looks like work for me. I think you can do the same thing, but then just reword it in such a way that it's a bonus. If you don't like it, I'll help you, or whatever it is. Like, send me an email and I'll immediately give you some help or guidance, advice, and your money back, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yes. So last night there was only one testimonials, the word I'm looking for.
Yep.
Now you've got 3, which is good.
Yeah.
It would be great if you could get, just for the future, if you could beef these up, and a good formula for I keep saying tutorials, for testimonials is like before, then, after kind of thing. So I used to ... then I ... now I ...
See, I'm taking comments that people have
Yes.
dropped on my episodes, on Twitter, emails, things like that. So I don't really have a whole lot of, follow this formula when you give me feedback.
Yeah, but you could actually, I mean, time's running out, I realize that, but it would be a good idea as you talk to people ongoing and they mention stuff like this, you can shoot them an email and say, hey, thanks for the feedback. Could you give me a little more detail in this format? I've done that, and it actually works really well.
Okay.
Or you could take what they've said and you can put it in that format essentially, and then send it to them and say, can I use it like this? Is this cool, or do you want to modify it, or and then I think most people will be like, yeah, that's cool.
Right. Yep.
But I mean, again, this page is the text, the copy on it, I think is really good. You wanted us to pull it to pick it apart. So.
Yes, I do. And there's a ton of stuff that I'm going to improve.
Okay, we're going to make Derick cry.
Yeah, one other thing I'm not seeing here, maybe I just missed it, but I don't think I did. I don't see any sense of urgency. There's no, so if you're trying to make money this month or, by the end of January or something.
Well, the sense of urgency is in the launch sequence emails.
Okay.
This page wasn't really meant to have a sense of urgency because I'm not giving you a discount just for hitting this page. I'm not doing something urgent just for hitting this page. This is just going to be this is a product that's going to be here for sale. It doesn't need to be urgent. It just needs to be available.
Okay.
Right. One other thing too here is definitely take a look at the way that you're phrasing things, and it should really always be about them, not you.
Uh-huh.
And you actually this is a big improvement over the last version, but there's still here in this first paragraph.
Right.
I've put together a bundle. Tell me about. I want to hear about me and what I'm going to be able to do with this.
Right.
Yep.
So, and that's kind of laced throughout. Just keep an eye out for that.
Gotcha.
So that's hard to do unless you're thinking about it.
Yeah. So that's a lot of feedback.
Yeah, that's all I've got. I have to say your launch sequence emails were awesome, though. I really thought those were awesome.
That was quite honestly the write drunk, edit sober. Only I left out the edit.
Yeah.
Nice.
I started writing those at 11 o'clock last night after I had had a few glasses of scotch.
Yeah, those were good. Those are really good. It's just I like that style, like a little bit of punchy style, a little bit of loose there. It's not a big thing. Not trying to sell you too hard, but
Well, frankly, I took that from what you wrote for me, John, from the Signal Leaf hacking day that we did a couple weeks ago. Because I'd forgotten to forward this to you, but I got Matt Kramer to review that entire series for me. And in one of his episodes, or one of the bits of feedback he gave me, he put down at the very bottom, by the way, love your writing style and your voice in emails. And the one that he specifically put that on was an email that you had written.
Oh, well, thanks. Well, that's why I like those ones then.
Yeah.
Nice.
If I could only do it for myself, it's like it feels like Midas with the.
Yes.
Hey Chuck, we're getting our own voices back to us now. There we go.
I totally just muted you, dude.
Yeah. He does. I'm not sure if he realizes it.
Yeah.
I'll be the jerk and mute him.
Okay. I had one other thought. Oh yes, yeah. So one other thought here, and I don't know if this is possible, but I'm going to throw it out there anyway.
Okay.
It would be great if you could come up with a way to offer to split this up into a couple of tiers.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that too, and I might be able to do that in the future. But right now, this package is kind of it's what it is.
Yeah, there's not really a way to split it, and I guess you couldn't. Is there any way you could throw in some related bonuses?
I do have.
You have the one bonus.
The one bonus that if you buy it, you get the bonus in the download instructions.
Right.
Which is cool. That's a mystery. Yeah.
I should probably mention that on the page.
Mm-hmm. What about yeah, I don't know. It's tough.
I know you guys had talked about me doing like a webinar and then getting people, early buyers to or whoever to pay extra to join a webinar, to get a huge discount on Watch Me Code or to have some extra things like that. And while I like those ideas, I'm not really ready to do a webinar at this point. I kind of put this off for too long already, and I don't really want to take more time to plan something like that. And the Watch Me Code discount thing becomes difficult because the Restrict Content Pro system that I'm using kind of makes discounts a little limited. I can really only do an amount off per month. I can't do like 3 free months or something like that.
Okay. One thing you could do is just throw some bonuses like just onto the page, like other things, like I don't know what it is, but or maybe separate out some of the things, and then that would give you a time sensitive, an urgency thing as well.
Right.
So because you could say even though this page is going to last forever, you could have the bonus things on there and make it feel like those things, the bonus parts might disappear. Like get it now while I'm throwing in these bonuses.
Gotcha.
And then it gives urgency regardless of the time frame.
Gotcha. And I sort of have that. It's not called out very well, but I've got what I call a bonus episode because it's not strictly about Mongoose or MongoDB. So right below the episode list, there's the plus a bonus episode where I describe the extra episode that I'm tossing in because it is relevant. It's just not strictly about MongoDB.
Yeah, just make it feel more like a bonus, more like a I guess just call it out a little bit more. Maybe put it in a different colored box or something to show that it's a bonus and that it's a limited, like that the bonus might not be there forever.
Yep.
And this pricing might not be here forever, also. So.
Yep.
Right.
So I guess that was my last question right there. Is what do you guys think of the pricing?
I think.
Stunned silence. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I don't think it's bad or good. This stuff is really the pricing is just really tough to know until you taste it. I think that the discount that you're offering, the $49 pricing, that is a steal.
Yeah. And I purposely did that for my mailing list. I mean, when I was first thinking about pricing this, I was like, okay, $50. $49. That's going to be an amazing deal. And then I was like, you know what? The amount of material that I put in here, this is worth more than $50. Let me up the price, and then I'll discount it to my mailing list and let them have it for $50.
I think, to me, like the $99 feels high if it's the only thing on the page.
Right.
As a tier in a 3-tiered pricing structure, I think it's perfect.
Okay.
It feels high, but that's not. I mean, that's something you can fix later. I wouldn't worry about that for this because you're basically launching it to your list, and you're going to offer a 50%.
Yeah.
So.
Here's another way to do this as well, like for the pricing, because I was just reading you. I think you definitely want to change this sentence where you say, "I would sell these screencasts individually for $14 each."
Mm-hmm.
Just say, "I sell these," or "These are $14 each screencast." And if you actually then take that concept and you list the episodes and you list a price next to them, $14, $14, $14, right? And then you cross it all out at the, or you show the total, right? So like where you have your episodes listed, if you say the price right next to each one of them, and then at the bottom you put the total, that grand total there, and then you put a cross through it, and then put special discounted price, and then bam, here's bonus plus bonus. This is what you pay, $99. Then you've kind of anchored the price using itself. Right now, it's like, well, I don't know, is $99 a good deal? I'm not sure, but I think if you make it very clear that it's like, okay, these are all $14 episodes. Not I should price them, but these are what they are, and here's the total. Now it's crossed through. Now you see what it is. Oh, and plus, look at this. You will also be able to slice and dice with this. You know, I'm going to throw in.
It slices, it dices, it does julienne fries.
But that's not all.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah, but I think that would give it an anchor to that price, and then it's okay. Then it's like, okay, yeah, $99. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's why this is a good deal.
Right. Okay.
One other thing that I'm seeing. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes. Yeah. Much better.
Chuck's voice is down in the realm of mere mortals.
Yes, with your iPhone mic.
Anyway, one other thing that I'm seeing, or that I think would be helpful, is if there were something here that you couldn't get by subscribing to Watch Me Code. Or
yeah.
And I don't know what that is.
That was part of the problem of I don't know what to do. I don't want to take more time to plan something.
Yeah.
You know, but I in general would totally agree. The other problem that I have with that, I guess, is I'm going to do more packages like this. I used to have packages like this back when I was selling individually to begin with, and I want to bring those packages back, and I thought that this package would be a good way to relaunch it. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to do my JavaScript fundamentals package again, which was a hugely popular one. That was like my best-selling thing ever, was that package. And then I want to do my Jasmine testing, and then I want to do my Node.js tooling for web development.
Right.
And there may be a few more. Like I'm working on an Express.js series right now, and I'll probably package that up. Mm-hmm. So I want to do the package structures like this more often, and if I set the precedent now of having these extra bonus always give me something more that you can't get with the subscription, it kind of requires me to go down that path in the future. I mean, I know I can do whatever the crap I want, and I don't have to, but it sets that expectation.
Well, and you know, and I'm with you on this one, because I think you want a subscriber to be the most special, right? Because they're the ones who are like continually supporting you, and so I think that so I guess and also, you know, there's a huge opportunity here for both, which is I think that if someone buys this package and they like this, right, I think there's a really, really good upsell potential to cross-sell them to this subscription.
Yeah.
And I know it's like, well, I already have some of these videos. Yeah, but there's a whole catalog of videos, and you get new updates and
yeah. And I totally want to get drip automation involved in that, and I'm trying to figure out how to make that work. Because right now I'm using the same Stripe account for these sales as I am for the subscriptions, because it's all Watch Me Code stuff. And right now my drip automation is set up so that when you make a purchase of Watch Me Code anything, it signs you up for my mailing list and does all that stuff. What I need to do is set this up so that you will get flagged as somebody who bought a bundle package from me, and then have a campaign that you are added to, so that a week or 2 weeks later or something like that, you'll get an email from me saying, hey, by the way, if you like these screencasts, I've got more. You know, check out this subscription kind of thing.
Right.
But there's an interesting side note in that as well. Part of the reason that I'm doing this is because I know there are a lot of people that can't or just don't want to pay for a monthly subscription. Mm-hmm. And I've had 3 people, 2 people email me, and 1 person on Twitter mention that they're really happy to see this package because they really want these episodes, but they can't justify the monthly cost.
There's
you know, the potential backfire of thanks for the offer, but I can't. But at the same time, I mean, what's the worst they're going to do? Not subscribe?
It's fine, because over time, you know, I mean, because here's the thing, like, they may eventually, you may convert them over by winning them over by them seeing the value. Because first of all, they're not subscribing because they don't like the commitment. So they buy your package, then they're like, man, this stuff is good, right? So then they might subscribe, even though they said they never would then. But also your next package comes out, they get advertised to that, and they buy that, right? Yep. And then they're like, oh man, I've spent $200 already. That could have been like how many months of everything.
Yeah.
So like, because I know I've done that before, where I've bought things in packages, and then I was like, God, I should have just subscribed. And now you get to this point where it's like, well, I better do it now, because otherwise I'm going to keep on buying these things and wasting more money. I should just be a subscriber. So I don't think it's going to blow up on you. I don't think anyone's going to say, man, this jerk is now trying to get me to subscribe after I bought his package. Maybe there'll be. Of course, we know that there'll be that one vocal person that says that.
There will be some jerk out there that totally rips me apart. I mean, I'm sending 4 emails between the email yesterday and the 3 for the rest of the launch sequence, and I know somebody's going to get mad at me for doing that.
Of course, but hey.
Yeah.
There's always somebody. Don't worry about it.
Derick, one more thought on the packages thing.
Mm-hmm.
So to go up in value, one thing that you could consider would be selling an hour of your time.
Right.
That would be, because that would be really valuable to people. They watch it and then they have questions. And the thing is that not everybody's going to redeem that.
Yeah.
So you're not going to, it's not like you're going to be, if you sell 100 of these this week or whenever you launch it, you're not going to get 100 people. You're going to get 20 people probably.
Yep.
Who actually take it, at most, who take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. All right, if I get through all of these changes in time, maybe I'll add on that.
Yeah, you can always follow up with an upsell that's just you've already spent $100, so if you want to just apply that to a subscription, then another $10 will get you a year or something.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier about I have a problem with that because of the way my subscription service works. It's hard for me to create a discount like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if I can.
Well, it's something to think about for the future, I think, and to figure out how to do that, and maybe you get some custom code in there or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Why is this tooling stuff so hard?
Yeah, I mean, it was like ridiculously easy to get this site up and running, and I'm super happy with Restrict Content Pro overall. I mean, with that I went and bought Easy Digital Downloads extensions because it was built by the same guy.
Yeah.
And I generally love this stuff because it took me like a few hours to get all of this set up to be able to sell this package, and I was done.
The thing that when I was looking at Easy Digital Downloads, I liked it for the most part, but what I wanted was I was going to do an upsell funnel. I was looking at it for an upsell funnel for Sublime. So the idea was $7 product, click buy button, take them to a sales page that says, hey, you can also get this other product, and it's like a one-click upsell. So you collect their payment information on the first page.
Yep.
They click buy. And then you offer them this other thing at a steep discount. They can click buy or no thanks. And I wanted to be able to do that, and I wanted to be able to have tracking codes. And there was like nothing out there. That's like a very standard internet marketing funnel, and I couldn't find anything. I found one product called NanaCast, and it was $100 a month.
Right.
Yeah.
Which for me was not worth it. It's just like, why is it so hard?
It's Infusionsoft has it, I'm pretty sure, because I think I looked at Jeremy Reeves' stuff, that copywriter guy, and when I bought his little $7 book, I think it had it took me to a page and it had like the Dell kind of an Apple, add this.
Yep. Yeah.
So Infusionsoft, we gotta all go to Infusionsoft.
No.
Someday when you
not gonna happen.
I don't know. I'm thinking more and more about investing the dollars into that, but we'll see.
Speaking of email providers, so Drip rolled out a change this week. I thought I'd mention to you guys. So I've had after I did my annoying sales sequence last week, I had probably 20 or 30 people contact me and say, I've unsubscribed from your list and I keep getting emails, and it was because when you click the unsubscribe link, you would go to a page and it would show you all the campaigns that you were subscribed to. And then it had an unsubscribe me from all future emails button at the bottom. Mm-hmm. People didn't see that button, and they were unchecking the campaigns, which I don't use for Sublime. I'm just sending broadcasts.
Yeah.
So they were getting my broadcasts even though they were unsubscribed from the campaigns.
Right.
Well, so this week they changed that. So when you click the unsubscribe link, boom, you're just off everything. It globally unsubscribes you from everything.
See, I don't like that change.
Yeah, we talked about that,
Yeah.
and but the problem is that people were getting, like, I was getting like, people were threatening to report me to, like, basically to report me to all the blacklisters. So that would be really, really bad. I actually this is kind of how I wanted it to work, so I kind of like it, but it's definitely, it would be nice to give people the option to opt out of specific campaigns. They can opt back in if they want to at that point, but So this is more how people expect it to work, though.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if someone unsubscribes from my RSS, I don't want them I want them to be able to easily unsubscribe from just the RSS and not the other stuff. And I mean, I've got my broadcast campaign set up so that it only broadcasts to, like, I segment it to the people that are in this empty campaign that is the one that gets the. So. Right. I don't know. I mean, I got to figure out a way to make it so that people can not, because I ultimately want everyone subscribed to RSS and the weekly emails.
Right.
But they need to be able to just unsubscribe from the RSS in an easy way.
Yeah, I'm doing the exact same thing as John, and global unsubscribe, no thanks. I want people to, because when I send out a broadcast, I limit it just to a campaign. So if you unsubscribe from that campaign, you won't get it.
Mm-hmm. And I tried to change the footer on the RSS, like, so that there's a toggle link, and then I tag people. But I don't know. I'll have to see. I mean, I think it forces you to have the other text, even though the footer looks like it lets you change the text. I think it ultimately doesn't let you change it. I'll have to play with it one more time. But I would essentially the ideal thing would be that I have a short code that basically. Whatever their template code that basically is unsubscribed from this campaign.
Yeah.
And then so that at the footer of the RSS, I would say, look, here, click here to unsubscribe, to not get RSS emails. You'll still get other email. It could even have the caveat.
You'd have to have both. Yeah, you'd have to say, click here to not get any more emails of this type. Click here to just completely unsubscribe.
Well, you don't have to have both. You just have the one when they click it to unsubscribe from the RSS. At that page, it has a thing that says, would you like to unsubscribe from all emails? Right, you won't get anything. So once they click it, by default it just subscribes them for RSS, but there's the option there to unsubscribe from everything as well. I think a lot of I've seen that done a lot where I unsubscribe from a thing, and so there's a mild annoyance to it, but I think it's worth the mild annoyance because you don't want to lose all these people just because they don't like this type of email. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Especially the people who subscribe to your RSS feed in an RSS reader, because they're like, well, I already have the RSS. Well, but that's not, you don't understand.
People still use RSS readers?
I guess so.
All right. Well, you guys can ping Rob if you're unhappy. The one thing I would like to see that I probably will tell him is it doesn't really say, like, when you go to the page, it doesn't say you've been unsubscribed. It just shows you as unsubscribed.
Mm-hmm.
And so people were taking screenshots. Like, I had a guy take a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
He clicked the link that actually unsubscribed him because they changed the behavior. And then he saw, I'm already unsubscribed. And he took a screenshot and he sent it to me. So, yeah, it's still kind of confusing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I guess I don't have 75,000 people on my list. My rate of complaints is slightly lower.
Yeah.
So I switched over to Drip completely now.
Nice.
I haven't killed my MailChimp account yet because I'm still got some slight reservations, but I think it's gonna work.
You don't have to kill it. I still have my MailChimp account.
Pause
it's just paused, so it's not charging me anything.
Yeah, I guess I'll switch it over to the paused. One thing that was disturbing me this morning, though, that, like, I sent a broadcast email out, and I went to go look at the stats, and I was like, what? 3% opens? And then it appears that Drip doesn't update the stats very often. It must be like every couple of hours or so. So it's not a real-time stats on your open rates and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I've noticed that too.
I'd love to see that because there's some critical moments when you send it's not a critical thing, but it's.
Frankly, I don't care.
Yeah.
Does it tell you when it last updated? Because at least you would have that info.
That would be nice.
That would be nice.
Last updated.
Yeah, because I kind of want to know like what's going on and make sure that everything's okay. Like when you send an email to 6,000 people or so, or 150 like Josh does, you really want to know that everything is cool, that there's nothing and you want to know that quickly. Like if you look at the rates, the stats, and you see something that's totally off, then you can you have reaction time to did you send a blank email that just has an unsubscribe button at the bottom?
I'm asking you, please unsubscribe. I'm just sending this one.
Wait, I'm so sorry.
Nice.
But I mean overall I'm happy. Well, okay, what sold me to switch to Drip totally from the MailChimp. Which I'm not saying that I might not.
Were we calling it the MailChimp now?
Yeah, the MailChimp. The biggest thing that sold me was their JavaScript API.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, MailChimp doesn't have a JavaScript API, and even though MailChimp's got a very powerful API, I was trying to get DPD integration to work, right? Yeah. And then I was going back and forth with support, and then I was like, well, just give me the JavaScript API. So I could just throw JavaScript on any page and make anything I want work.
Yep. Because
of that API, essentially. So I just threw some JavaScript to identify the user based on, use the templating in DPD, and no matter what happens, whether they have a cookie or token or whatever it is, when they purchase from my DPD, I do send their email address, so they, it works and it'll connect. So that's even if they purchase from a different browser or something like that. So
yeah, that eliminates all the cross. Oh, that's really nice. That eliminates the stupid cross-site scripting. Cross cookies issue.
Which is what I need to set up for when people purchase this bundle. I need to get the DPD in there, the drip code in there, the JavaScript API. The problem is I don't know where to edit the page for the Easy Digital Downloads confirmation.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It didn't look like that was one of the things I noticed when I was looking at it, is that it didn't look like there was anything in WordPress. Like it looked like it was going to be templates, editing the actual file.
Oh, I totally expect that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with editing the actual template files. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, I just don't like doing that because then you're kind of locked in for updates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in some cases, like with the Restrict Content Pro, there's a certain set of forms where if you put a PHP file of this name in a separate plugins folder, you can edit it there.
Right. Okay.
It'll be used. So he may have that for EDD. I'm not sure, but even if he doesn't, I don't really care. I'm totally going to put that code in and make it work. Yeah. I'll figure out what WordPress events he triggers, and I'll put it in with that. I'll find a way to do it, but I really need it to happen. Otherwise, I can't do the automation stuff that I need to do.
Yep.
But yeah, that's for me, John. That was a huge thing as well. Was the JavaScript API being able to do this stuff? I mean, I started out with just the drip campaign, but then once I saw all the API things that you can do, I've really started using that, and I really like it.
Yeah, because it makes it so easy because you don't have to program, right? I mean, because if you're using WordPress or you don't have a lot of control, if a site that you're using or some other third party just lets you inject JavaScript on a page, then you can do whatever you need to do. So that to me, I thought, okay, this is a kind of flexibility that I need. The other factor, I tried to get MailChimp up and running with everything, and it just felt clunky through the interface. There's definitely
MailChimp
some things
felt
that
clunky.
Well, it's a lot of clicks, right? Oh, I see.
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, I mean, some of their stuff is smooth, because it, but the thing is,
it should always take 7 to 10 clicks to send an email. I mean, are you sure? Are you really sure?
Are you drunk? No.
But I do have to say that Drip absolutely has to fix it so that the Chrome or spell checker works in the Compose window, or they have their own spell checker, because that almost bit me bad. I was like, wait a minute, this looks weird. How am I spelling so good? And then I copy and paste it to a Word doc, and I was like, oh. So, but I mean, obviously, I will not compose my emails in that interface. I'll just use Word or whatever, and then copy and paste it in. But I don't know. I mean, someone's not going to know that. Like, there's going to be a lot of typos that are going to go out because you get so used to Chrome's autocorrect. Assume that your stuff is good unless you see a red line.
I never even noticed that. I would bet that it's because of the editor they're using.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So, but
you guys are so tempting me to switch.
The other thing that's nice too is that they have, it's going to be built on and grown. I mean, there's some things that are lacking.
Right.
Like the reporting, definitely needs some work. But I know that they're going to grow on that. That the feedback is going to. So it's kind of weird. It's like, MailChimp is definitely a more mature product. It's bigger. But it wasn't built the right way from the start. Like, automation was tacked on.
Right.
Drip was built with automation from the start. It doesn't have some of the niceness and the templates and stuff, which and the reporting that MailChimp has. But I think it's going to get there, and it's going to do it in the way that makes more sense to our purpose.
Right.
So So overall, it was enough to convince me to say, okay, I'm going to go all the way over to Drip, and I'll ride the waves. Like, it might be a little choppy and whatnot, but it'll be worth it, and because overall I'm getting a benefit. The conversion, the goal conversion, makes it totally worth it for me, because now I can see how effective my emails are being.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. For me too. Like, I mean, I've tried Aweber, MailChimp, Entreport, and now Drip. And for me, Drip, what I like the best about it, I mean, I like a lot of the things about it in the UI and everything, but the selling point is just how I feel like I can influence the development of it a little bit, and how they actually listen to us. And good luck. I mean, Entreport their support was pretty good. They were good to work with, but they're a pretty small shop too. Actually, I think they only have like 4 or 5 developers, and they have a much bigger product. It's like, good luck getting anything.
Yeah.
Like, it took them at least 2 or 3 years to get coupon codes.
Huh.
Like, I left, they did not have coupon codes, and I found threads going back to like 2012 where people like going, you're kidding me, right? I can't do a coupon code? So.
Yeah, that's a little nuts, not having coupon codes.
Yeah. When you're advertising a shopping cart, which Drip does not. So.
So I should probably, I bet people that are listening are like, well, when is John going to tell us what happened?
Yeah, totally. Now that we've talked about me forever.
So to make I won't belabor it too much, but let's see, where does the story pick up? After sending unsolicited pairs,
which I renamed that episode to unsolicited pairs, by the way. That's so awesome.
What happened was, let's see. So I think I have to go through the timeline of events. So I didn't really hear anything back from Bob. Oh, I got I was able to get another day from the publisher. I don't know if I said that last time, but I did ask for another day, so to give him till Tuesday. So I emailed him and I was like, look, I was able to get one more day. Apologize again. Like, if there's any way you could do this, I'd be very grateful. And then I basically ended up. I got a full version of the book, because I had given them a bunch of Word documents, because that's what they had. But since they were in the final proofing stages, I was able to get like a full document, a PDF. So I sent them the PDF, and I was like, this will make things easier. You don't have to go through all these Word documents. And so, long story short, on Tuesday, I hadn't heard anything from Bob, but then on Tuesday, he sent me the best forward I have ever seen for a book. What makes it so awesome, and my blog post on Monday, so that'll actually be yesterday when this comes out, details the whole story. I put the story for the whole thing, so just at simpleprogrammer.com, you'll see it on the front page. But basically, he wrote this nice long forward that basically described the whole story of what happened, of me sending him the unsolicited pairs. He didn't call it unsolicited pairs, unfortunately, but
that could have been edited in. You had the discretion to do that.
But anyway, so he wrote the whole story, which was totally the perfect thing to do, because he said, like, this is what this book is about. It's about not giving up. It's about fighting doing the thing that you need to do to find success. And that was like, when I read that, I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I would want someone to say about this book, and to tell that story. That I think that really sells the book. That like these are the things that you'll kind of learn from this book.
So, it was the grumpiest, like, most backhanded, nicest thing he could have said to it. It was hilarious.
That's kind of Uncle Bob, though.
Yeah,
that's him.
Yeah,
he said like at least 8 times, like, this was extremely rude.
Now okay, so there's 2 other things that go with this. So one thing is there was very little time on this book, right? So I mean, obviously this was right at the copy. It was when Manning copied it. They of course need to clean up some text, and so they got rid of the this is rude comments and the WTF, and they kind of they didn't really do a hack job. They just made it streamlined a little bit and stuff. I got Uncle Bob tweeted this morning when he saw that the forward was changed, and he was like, basically, I didn't like that you changed my forward. And he directed it more at Manning than at me.
Okay.
But he basically said, like, I'm not pleased with the edits made to that forward. You should have asked. And he was mostly upset that no one mentioned to him or asked.
Yeah,
which I totally understand. I mean, so this morning I had to do damage control. I was like, oh man, I definitely don't want to build ill will here, because Bob came through for me and did this awesome thing.
Yeah.
So I emailed him, apologized, said that I didn't realize they were going to do edits to the forward, which I didn't, and I basically said, look, what can I do? How can I make this better? I accept full responsibility. Like, I should have sent you as soon as I saw that they had made edits. Should have sent you. So he replied back and he said, essentially, it seems like it's resolved. Like he said thanks for saying the note, and he was still a little bit ticked off at I think more at Manning than me. But then I emailed it back and I was like, no, look, I should take full responsibility for this, because this is ultimately I should have thought in my head that as soon as I saw those changes, I should have sent it to you. So hopefully that's resolved. Hopefully it's not going to become I think it is. I mean, but yeah, that was almost like
answer.
And then the other piece of that is that so I, at the same time when I had emailed Bob on Friday, I emailed Scott Hanselman as well. I think I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did.
And I hadn't really heard anything from him, just a little bit. I wasn't sure if he was going to do it. And then like Tuesday, actually it was Wednesday morning at like 1 a.m., I got Scott Hanselman's forward,
Nice.
And so I sent it to the publisher. I was like, I don't know if you can fit it in. I don't know if we have time. You told me Tuesday was the drop dead date, but it'd be awesome to have. I mean, how cool would it be to have Bob Martin and Scott Hanselman have on the forward for your book?
Seriously.
And they're like, yeah, definitely, let's get this in. So they
Nice.
put that in. And so yeah, so amazingly in 3 days' time, I went from no forwards to having probably the most well-known software developer figures in the world as forwards for my book. So pretty awesome. And the book launched today, or well, it was actually last night. So it's totally live. People can go and buy the full version of the book, the print version. I'll have it in my hands tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. From the press, 504 pages total. So it's going to be a fat book.
Oh wow.
And it will be shipping out to people by Christmas. So totally thrilled. It's crazy that this is all finally come to an end, and that I was able to get those forwards and big. I mean, I don't know if I doubt Uncle Bob and Scott Hanselman are watching this, but a huge thank you to them both, because it's totally awesome for them to. I mean, it just tells you what kind of guys they are, that they would do this on such a short notice. You know what I mean? To put forward in the book. So.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. That's what I've got to say about that.
It's awesome. I think Uncle Bob wasn't really sure he was going to do it until the last.
He wasn't going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, especially because you were being rude.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, that's the thing that makes the forward so good is because if you read it carefully, he says that he cracked it open. He said, "What? I've got 2 hours to kill, and I'm not going to write a forward anyway, so I might as well scan the book, right?"
Right.
And then him scanning the book is what convinced him to write the forward.
Right.
So that is why that forward is so good. Because, not only because it tells a story, because he basically says, "Look, I wasn't going to do this. There was no way I was going to do this. But when I started reading the book and started looking at the chapters, and I realized that people need to hear this message, I wrote the forward."
Yeah.
So I was just thrilled to read that.
High fives, man.
Thanks.
That was pretty awesome. It's been fun following that.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I've got a blog post coming out on Monday that just details the whole story and includes Bob's forward because I think that'll be interesting.
Oh yeah, his original version.
Huh?
His original version.
And the title of that blog post is how I got Robert Martin, Uncle Bob, to write a forward for my book, and I'm hoping that it could go viral, Hacker News type of. I think it might have the juice to do that.
It has some celebrity appeal. It's going to be an interesting story. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Is there? I mean, should I wordsmith that title? Like right now, the title is just how I got Robert (parentheses Uncle Bob) Martin to write a forward for my book. Do I put it in 3 days or?
I mean, I think like on Hacker News, it's going to be will Uncle Bob have enough star power? Like, I don't know. People are I don't know. Hacker News is really fickle, and they've been like, I've seen book, how I did X with my book or how I made X money in X days type of things do really well and then go absolutely nowhere. Yeah. So I'm not sure that you can really. I'm not sure that there's a lot you can do with the title. I think the title's pretty good as it is.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. So you never know what it'll take off because that could really help with the sales of the book. But either way, I think just having those two names on the front cover is going to make the sales of the book a lot more than they would have been.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice. My week's been pretty quiet. You're gonna say something else, John?
Oh no, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, mine's been. I've been. I've been playing with Twitter ads again. But I have paused. I got schooled this week. So one thing I forgot is that Twitter ads, just advertising in general, is rough around the holidays.
Yeah.
And I think Twitter is super pricey right now. So I had targeted. I made a little list of about a little audience of about 400,000 people who kind of the Pat Flynn, Nathan Barry follower types. And I was targeting them with an opt-in form for my King Sumo, my King Sumo course that I put together for the plugin. And I was getting zero traction. I still don't think any clicks ever showed up. I'm going to check that right now. But as of a day or two ago, no conversions had shown up. I did get some signups though. Yeah, it still shows as $0. I didn't spend any money.
That's good.
That was a nice thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting a decent engagement. I mean, the engagement wasn't awesome. It was it ended up being around 1.4%, which is not great, but not awful either. And I got a bunch of clicks and then no conversions. But I did see some people show up in Drip, and I think they came through Twitter. So I don't know if I just got some free, if Twitter gave me some free subscribers or what. But yeah, basically, once Monday, I launched it on Sunday, and once Monday came, my impressions dropped to 0. I was bidding $5 per sign up, and I had to put it all the way up to $15 per sign up to get impressions. So
wow.
Yeah,
that's
people,
insane.
I know.
You know why?
Yeah, because it's the holidays.
It's the hinting season.
Yeah.
Hashtag hinting.
Yeah.
All these big sellers are are spending up ridiculous advertising budgets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can make money. I can make money on this with up to $5 an opt-in, I think. but other than any higher than that, I'm definitely not going to make money on it. So that was this. I just put it up to $15 just to see what would happen, and at that point I was getting a decent number of impressions, but it was like I think I only got I got on Monday when I was doing that I got 1,500 impressions, which isn't much at all for Twitter. So so I paused that. That's just not worth messing with until I'll try it again in January. I'll just turn it back on, see what happens. So that was that was really confusing, and I was kind of bummed about it on Sunday night. I was watching it all day, and I'm like, no signups, holy cow! Because I've never seen that. I've always gotten something,
right.
3,000 people see something and 50 of them click on it. You think you'd get one sign up or something, but at least I didn't have to pay anything for it. So the conversion, Twitter's new style where you only pay for the actions you want is really nice. Mm-hmm. So I would have paid a lot of money for that previously. That would have been I would have been paying per interaction, and that would have been 50 interactions would have probably been, I don't know, $50. No, probably anywhere from $25 to $50 for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been pretty awful.
Yeah. So other than that, I've been doing my copywriting stuff. It's still going pretty well. And my King Sumo stuff. So I think I mentioned it. Basically, just completely dried up.
Really?
Week. Yeah, the week. What? Well, the week after. Not. It's back now. It's
okay.
Back. Yeah, the week 2 days before Thanksgiving, and then for almost the entire week after Thanksgiving, there was nothing.
But you got to consider. I mean, Thanksgiving week and then Cyber Monday week.
Well, there was that, and then also AppSumo did a 75% off sale.
Oh yeah.
So I had a bunch of people returning it.
Right.
So I was actually watching my numbers go backwards. I was like, oh, I'd get one sale and then two or three returns, and I'd get one more sale, and it was it was pretty agonizing. But it seems like that leveled off, and it's back to kind of one or two a day now. So. Yeah, so I think that'll be fine. I was a little nervous there for a while, but
yeah, totally
good. Yeah, because that's an unexpected cash cow. But
so one or two a day, you get do you get $50 each conversion?
I'm actually not allowed to talk about that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
he gets paid dollars.
I get paid dollars. Yes.
So I'll guess then. So I'll guess that. Oh, I guess my 50 is a pretty good guess. How much does the thing sell for? You don't have to talk about the
the full price is $197. The discounted price is $97.
Okay, so I would guess $50. So that's not bad. I mean, if you're making $100 a day on the thing, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a nice little chunk of income. So.
You cannot deny or confirm.
No, I did. I was not denying or confirming.
Yeah.
More than a Happy Meal.
So then the
you
other.
can buy Happy Meal every day. There we go. All right.
I can go to Red Lobster. So the other funny thing was Wes has been trying to get me money. Right?
That.
So the latest development is that so he went to his bank. And to do an ACH transaction, he has to sign up for another program that's $30 a month and $30 every time he transfers. So it's $60 a month. So I'm thinking we're just going to end up. What's that?
Western Union.
Well, we looked at that too, and I mean that might be that looked fairly expensive as well. So we that might be an option, or
why don't you just PayPal it?
Well, we were trying to avoid the 3% cut.
Have you looked at Dwala?
No, I know about it. I haven't looked at it. Is it less?
Yeah, last time I used Dwala, it was a 25-cent fee. Period.
Interesting. Okay.
You could just drive to Canada, pick up cash.
Yeah, I mean you're not that far from.
Yeah, me. I know. Well, he mentioned something about sending me Canadian dollars and having my bank exchange them. And I was I'm picturing a box showing up, a box of dollar bills. I'm not sure what he means by that. So
no, he literally means that. I mean, send you Canadian cash and go to your bank.
Yeah. Well, I have an online-only bank though. That's the only problem. So so that wouldn't work for me. But
is
I had a client that was in Canada, and she would just write me a check in Canadian dollars, and I would just take it to my bank and cash it.
Okay. Yeah, my bank might be able to do that.
I'm paying Momoko up in Canada. I send her PayPal. I mean.
Yeah. Like, so the PayPal fees it's like $300 on almost $10,000 from our.
You know what?
Dude, pay the $300.
But yeah,
pay
it's
the
worth
$300.
it. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's worth it. If we can't, like, I was thinking the ACH thing would be easy to set up, and that's only 50 cents, right? And it's he can pay my invoice because we've got to do this every month, so he can pay my invoices.
Oh, that's true. You gotta do it every month.
Yeah. So we're doing it every month. So yeah, I was trying to find like so it's gonna be the PayPal will probably come to like $500 a year. It would be nice to.
I've also done
that.
I've also done wire transfers through my bank. I don't know how it worked originating from Canada, but that was only like $60.
Yeah, I did a wire transfer from Copenhagen a couple
So it
of
might
years
be
ago.
cheaper. That might be cheaper.
Yeah, wire
for
transfer.
this big one.
Right.
And then we could just do the PayPal. Yeah, I think I'll have him look into that.
Yeah, don't spec a ton of time on this though. I mean, you're talking $300.
Right.
How much time is that worth?
2 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how if I put my hourly rate at $150 an hour, so.
Yeah, you've already spent more time talking about it than.
So far, we've talked about it. Wes has probably spent more time on it than I have.
Completely wasted time.
Yeah, I've spent about 20 minutes on it so far. So plus the time we've eaten here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Western Union might be a good option just for this big one, and then do the rest of them through PayPal.
Plus, you can send a couple of payments to those, so you can get those fortunes in Nigeria.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I've never used Western Union, so that would be an interesting experience.
Amazingly, it still exists.
Yeah.
It's mostly used by like junkies.
Yep.
They need a fix, and then their family gives them a fix. Mostly.
Nice.
That's Western Union's new slogan. If they had a headline, it'd be like, "You need a fix? Are you a junkie?" Western Union.
That's what Josh really means by sublime.
It's a new blend. So yeah, that's really it for me. I think I don't have a whole lot of exciting going on this week. I did find one other thing is I do have one thing. I found a way to advertise via email, so I'm going to try that for the King Sumo thing to see if I can scale it up. I think it would be a lot better than Twitter ads. So if it works out, I will explain more. Cool. Otherwise, it'll just be humiliating.
Oh, is it my turn?
It is.
Because everything that could go wrong did go wrong this week. So.
Oh no.
Oh yay! One of those weeks.
I had one major win, but I don't feel like I can talk about it yet. I did send it on the email list.
So that didn't fall through.
It has not. Yeah, I'm waiting for some approval for funds, so we'll see how that works.
All I can say is be aggressive with that. Like follow up with them like crazy. I just read a story about someone dealing with that same place, and he lost a fortune because he did not follow up with them.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. And then I mean, I did some training this week. I bought the Life on Fire bundle, and it came with a bunch of training. That's where I got the time management course that I've talked about in the past. Mm-hmm. And they also had this call to action from a guy named Michael Burnoff. And that was actually pretty good, but it was at 7 a.m. every morning, Monday through Thursday. So it was pretty intense. It was really good, but it was really intense. And then everything else in my life just totally exploded. Fireworks. You know, my 3-year-old was sick. He wet our bed twice and his bed once.
Oh gosh.
I mean, just I've been working on getting my consulting site up. I've only been in business for myself for 4.5 years, so I figured it was time. But one of the sponsors for Ruby Rogues, I periodically email the people I know and say, hey, do you have any work? And he said that he could get me in touch with the CTOs from Techstars.
Nice.
But I have to have a website that he's not embarrassed to point him to. So, so I figured that the opportunity cost for not having one just went way up. So
yes.
So I've been
is big. Yeah.
Yes. So I've been working on that this week, and then I'm just gonna work like a crazy person on getting Rails clips launched. But yeah, since my week blew up, I didn't have time to work on the pre-sale page or anything like that. But my hope is that I can get enough stuff together so that I can announce it next week and start giving pre-sales on it before I launch. So we'll see how all that goes. And then, JS Remote Conf, just a lot of, I've had several people sign up. It seems like it's picking up steam. We got into 5 minutes of JavaScript. I think the Node Up podcast mentioned us.
Nice.
The Nomad.js will be mentioning us this week or next week at their meeting. And, I've been talking to a lot of other conference organizers and stuff who are reaching out to their lists. So there's a lot of stuff that's got momentum, but yeah. And then, the rest of my week was just dealing with everything. So nothing really to report other than that. I survived somehow.
Oh, we've all had those weeks plenty of times.
So next week I'm hoping to have some stuff to report. I'm also thinking seriously about something I saw on the internet where I think Amy Hoy and what's his name? The guy behind, we've already mentioned him a couple of times on the show, but
Nathan Barry.
Nathan Barry. They did like a 24-hour challenge.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking about doing something like that where I write a short ebook or put out a video series or something like that and see if I can get everything done in 24 hours.
Right. Which
start to finish.
I wonder where they get the 24-hour challenge idea from.
It sounds so familiar.
It's like it's some entrepreneurial group I think came up with that.
Yeah, but I guess it's 24 hours of time that you put into it, not within one day. So
not a 24-hour calendar.
I think both Nathan Barry and Amy Hoy did theirs in 24 hours though. She shipped hers in like just 15 minutes after the 24-hour mark, I think.
Right.
And it was I read her blog post about it. She said it was 24 hours of clock time, but she took, she slept and everything. So.
Right.
That's a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea. It's been neat to watch them.
Yeah.
Watch them do that.
I was kind of taking that idea when I just ran and threw together my page for selling this thing. Clearly I'm doing more than just a 24-hour thing because I'm doing a full launch sequence and whatnot. But I wanted to get it done and just get it done. So because I'd seen both of them talking about it. And it was like, all right, I really like that philosophy. I just need to get things done and get it out the door. And so that's kind of where I went with my sales page.
Yeah.
Hers was 24 hours of clock time. The original one that I saw was Josh Brown. He does a Swift course for iOS development. Yeah. And he was doing 24 hours of, time put in.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nice. Yeah, they're getting a lot of attention with that, and I've seen a bunch of other people picking up on the idea, so.
Yep. But I think it's cool.
Yep. Yeah, little, it's kind of like stunts like that are great for just the audience building.
Yep.
Right.
People like to, jump on ship and watch what you're doing.
Yeah, if it's something that makes a few $100, or maybe $1,000 in a day, you can pull it off periodically. I don't know. I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, it develops the skill. I mean, like when we did our 24-hour challenge, it sort of made you. I don't know. I grew in a lot of ways just from doing it, from just realizing like, okay, when it kind of actually was probably what helped me with the Uncle Bob forward thing, because I was like, okay, you can like get things done quickly and like. And figuring out what do you do in the situation? Like, how can we market this and with very limited resources, with your hands tied behind your back. What's the minimum thing that you need to do in order to get something out? Like it kind of really compresses down the timeline so that you kind of feel the urgency and know that you can, once you've done something in 24 hours and shipped something in 24 hours, you realize that anything is possible, and these bigger projects that you don't have to draw them out for months at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got something I wanted to run by you guys. So I finally am working on now that I've got Drip up, my lead magnet to convert people over, rather than my 0.03% conversion rate of just saying sign up for my newsletter right now.
You will get nothing. I offer you nothing of value.
Exactly.
Please give me your email address.
Just get and your first name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to experiment with taking that part out, but I like emailing people with their first name. But
I've never asked for a first name.
It makes it more personal. I get a lot of personal replies back, but I don't know. I'll have to experiment.
One thing you can do with that's actually really effective is to not address every letter to people that way, but to put their name in the body of the email somewhere. Like if you just do it occasionally.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Like Pat Flynn actually does that, where it like jumped out at me. It actually freaked me out a little bit because it was just after I did the blog post for him.
Yeah.
And so I thought like he was actually like, I was like, wait, is he? No, okay.
Does he mean me? Really? Me? But so my idea for this 5-day course, instead of doing a 5-day how to market yourself as a software developer course, because this will eventually pitch that, I thought, let me do a piece of a thing in it that's going to be of high value and also has value in itself. And so my current title for my 5-day course is How to Build a Blog That Boosts Your Career course. And so the idea here is that I'm going to, take you step by step on how to choose what kind of blog you should create, the theme for it, and then how to create the blog, and then what to write about, picking a posting schedule, and then day 5 will be getting traffic, and that's where I'll segue into, okay, now you have a blog, now you've got an idea, but now you still need how to know how to best optimize the blog, how to use WordPress plugins, how to brand yourself, and how to get the word out about it, because that's
how to market yourself as a developer.
Well, exactly. But that kind of segues into it. The other thought with this is that I'm gonna give a Bluehost link on how to on creating your blog, right? But I'm not going to give in my How to Market Yourself course, I give way step-by-step details. I'm going to kind of give a lighter, just go with Bluehost for now, but then and then I'm going to say, okay, in the course you can find out more information if you want to do DigitalOcean or you want to do something like that. And then it creates another revenue stream too, because I think Bluehost gives you like a $75 referral bonus. So as people come in that funnel, there's a chance for a nice payoff there. Plus they could buy the course at a discount. So there's multiple ways to generate revenue from it. And then it's going to be something that once you've got the blog, if I can get you through the steps of creating the blog and kind of picking the theme, like the biggest hurdles of it, then you're ready for marketing yourself, because that's really the first step anyway, is like, and that's the hardest thing, I think, is like if you've invested the time and effort into getting the blog up, then you want to take it further, and then my course will help you take it further.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like that.
I'm going to opt into your mailing list, and I'm going to put my first name as square bracket, ! First name.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the idea. I really do. So is it going to be like an email course with like the basics, and then you get the full-on course if you pay for it? So you're going to create another course?
No, you'll get it'll advertise the How to Market Yourself as a software developer course at the end. So essentially, it goes like this. Day 1 is there'll be a welcome letter that basically tells you why you need to create a blog and why it's so valuable, and tells a story about how creating a blog got me a job offer, and that kind of thing. And then and sets up the expectations. You're going to get emails from me for the next 5 days. And then day 1 is choosing a theme. So it's like not a WordPress theme, but like specialization for your blog. Like, what is your blog about, and picking a domain name. And then day 2 is creating your blog. Actually, just okay, how do you do it on Bluehost? Very simple, basic instructions on how to get set up. Day 3 is what to write about. Stuff like brainstorm 50 topics, the types of posts, how-to posts, step-by-step guide posts, 10 things I learned about to give them ideas. Mm-hmm. Day 4 is picking a posting schedule, which is basically where I'm going to preach to you how consistency is the most important thing and suggest that you write a blog post once a week and why that's important, and that it doesn't have to be perfect. You should just ship it every week. That consistency is most important. And then day 5 is the getting traffic, and that's where I'm going to say, okay, now you've got this blog, now you know what you're writing about, you've got topics, but you need to spread the word about this thing so that people read it and they see it, and so that's where you need to market yourself. This is where it's going to be key. You need branding. You have an idea, but you don't have a brand, so you need, and this is where I'm going to teach you that in my How to Market Yourself course, how to create a brand. I'm going to teach you how in depth how to get your blog, to grow your blog and to get traffic for it. I'm going to teach you, all these things, and I'm basically going to plug the course at that point. And then I'm using kind of Brendan Dunn's format of after day 5, I'm going to do an answers to questions email, and then one more last call email for a sale, because I'm going to give a discount window at the end of that 5-day course.
Right.
So I really like. So the good thing about this is perfect because you have set this up so that the next step, the most logical next step, is to buy your course. That's where I think a lot of people go off the rails with these things. Like they just put together a course, and then it's like they have a product at the end, but it doesn't exactly fit. Like it's not like the logical next step. This is perfect. Like you're basically building the case for your course, and they don't know it until the end.
Somehow I get the feeling that Josh was talking about me just now.
I'm not talking about you specifically. I've seen a bunch of it. It's hard. I mean,
it really is. No,
your product is different. It's a subscription product. It's not like, I mean, you could do this with your MongooseJS thing. But what you've got is it's a little bit more of a grab bag, and it's tougher to sell.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, if you had something like with the JavaScript, this course, if there was something that was like, I've got like 10 hours of videos on this in Watch Me Code, that would be a more logical transition.
Right.
Or if you had some kind of specific package about it or something.
But yeah, that was kind of the design from the beginning of my course, was how can I build something that the next logical step would, because I used Brendan Dunn's how to double your freelancing rate course as I'll give him a free plug here, but as a model, because when I signed up for his thing, actually I noticed his thing when my deal went, the How to Market Yourself, because this is a very similar thing to what I'm doing. So I reached out to him. I'm actually talking with him next week about what we can do to cross promote our stuff, because we're very, very similar audience.
Yeah.
But I loved how his emails were structured, because he had this double your freelancing rate. I think it was an email course, and then after he took you through, the next logical step was to buy the actual course, whatever because it just made sense, and so that's what I thought is, okay, I want to make it. And then I added one other thing, which is I feel like if I get you to invest in buying in buying a domain and subscribing to Bluehost, not only am I going to make a commission there, which is good. I mean, because you want to have other ways to monetize the traffic so that the cost per acquisition goes down. But in addition, I've already got you spending a little bit of money, so now you're more likely, you've already invested. Right. So now you need to follow the next steps, because a lot of the problems that I've heard with people that have taken my course, I mean, even not necessarily that they've refunded, but just people in general say, oh well, I didn't actually, or they're not taking the steps. So it becomes a lot more valuable when you've actually taken the steps to do a thing, to create the blog, and then now you can really utilize the course. So that's kind of the thinking there.
Two email related thoughts here. So first of all, that shouldn't be the last email in this sequence. Like they should get more emails after this, spaced out, about the same topic. So you can keep their attention on it. And also when people buy your course, you could do like a post sale stick sequence where you actually kind of push them back into the material. So it's like you talk about something, tell a story that happened to you, and then like segue it into something from the course and like tell them exactly where in the course it is. So after people buy the course, you're kind of like gently nudging them back to go back, dig back into it. Because a lot of people, I would not be surprised if a lot of people buy it, download it, and then 30 or 40% of them never even look at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even on an expensive product like that. I know I've certainly have gotten a lot of people who bought my book who emailed me and are like, never read your book. I probably should read that.
Yep.
So that's just how it goes with this stuff.
That's a good point to re-engage. I mean, right now I've got it set up so that after this email, then they'd go to my general list,
right?
Which I still plan on putting them on because I think going through the general list is really how people get to know me, and then they
right.
But yeah, I think you're right that they should still have a special flag if they've gone through this campaign, and every once in a while they'll get like a periodic like, hey, by the way, even though you've bought, like here you go, like,
right.
Let's read. How are you doing on your blog? What's
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is there anything I can help you with? Like that kind of thing will really help, because you eventually you're going to sell more stuff to these people, and if they're really if you're doing things like that to improve their satisfaction now on the thing they just bought, then they're more likely to buy later. So.
Yeah. Oh, there was another big thing too. I did go through and I did talking about Pretty Link. I Pretty Linked all the links in my book just about, which I feel like was a huge win, because I did this right at I had this panic moment. I was like, man, I really need to get these, like, if you click a link in my book, it needs to go to my blog and then redirect from there, so that I have control over the links in the book. So I can put in Amazon affiliates if I want to. So I could put in a landing page when you click a link for something if I want to, so I can track who's clicking links. So I pretty much scrub through the whole thing and put in those, and so that also gives me another way to monetize the book. The book also has a coupon code for $100 off of How to Market Yourself. It has advertisement for the 10 Steps to Learn course. So the book itself, even though I sell a copy of the book and make maybe $3 royalties, is I'm hoping that the actual like value of buying one of these books to me becomes somewhere around $15 to $20.
Nice.
Yeah, the Pretty Link thing is great, because I see that complaint all the times, like from people who buy like older books, like the books, all the information's still good, but the links are out of date, and people get really up in arms about that.
Yeah.
It's like you could Google it, and probably find it, but.
Well, plus you have all these, like, in my book, I've got a lot of references to studies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, are you going to, if you have the electronic one, you can click it, but if you have the print book, are you going to type in like this?
The NIH, like, yeah.
Right. So everything now is just simpleprogrammer.com/ss- and then a simple word to look up.
Nice.
So.
Cool. I think we're running out of steam here.
So
drop a mic.
Yeah. But yeah, I was trying to think. I mean, if you guys don't have anything else, no, just kidding. I think I've pretty much run through my list too. The biggest things were just getting this course and the book. There's still a lot of promotion that needs to be done on the book. I think I'm going to try and get on .NET Rocks to talk about that again.
Mm-hmm.
Someone just told me that .NET Rocks, they had mentioned my last episode, so now is a good time to email them.
Nice.
Get that. I've got the launch. I did get like over 450 people to sign up to review the book on the launch day. So,
wow.
And it's growing because I sent another email out today, and a bunch more people clicked. So,
nice.
Yeah. So we'll see how that works.
Hopefully it works well.
Yeah.
You're gonna get 1 or 2 hate reviews from people saying this is a scam. This book just launched and it has 100 reviews. That's impossible. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The only problem is the momentum thing is like, well, like by having split launches, like if it just launched, my ideal would have been if it just launched on Amazon, no early launch, just all one day. But I don't know, Manning doesn't really do it that way, and I can see why. So I just have to deal with it and do the best I can to get the Amazon rank up as much as possible. I was also going to contact as many blogs as possible that I know. And now, see, here's a nice thing. Now, if I approach someone to promote the book, like a blogger or some kind of media channel, I can say, by the way, it has forwards by Uncle Bob and Scott Hansen.
Yeah.
So it carries a lot more clout. So then they're like, oh yeah, okay, because the publisher's name and then the two forwards. Yep. I think that'll give me a lot of traction to make a big launch day. So I've really got to spend time working on that so that all the guns fire on the day that it's released on Amazon.
Totally.
Awesome. Done.
Done. Drop the mic.
Done.
All right. Well, I guess. Oh, one last thing we should address real quick, though. Sorry.
Okay.
David had a good idea about splitting the episode, but then posting them on the same day. And then there's a question of should we do this in 2 episodes or 3 if we do this?
I mean, 2 would probably be easier. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say start with 2 and move from there if we need to.
Yeah, we do 10 episodes eventually.
Okay, so I think that's what I'll tell him then, and maybe we can start this in January.
Okay.
And so we'll do two episodes on the same day, so people who are used to listening, they won't have to wait. There won't be a cliffhanger, but it will.
Join us next week to find out how we split our episodes.
Exactly. But there's a lot of advantages to that. It's good for the sponsor; they get more for their dollar. It's good for the listener, like new subscribers who aren't used to listening to 2-hour podcasts. So.
Cool.
All right.
Someone go answer your phone.
That's me. Can you hear it?
I can.
Sorry. Yeah. It was ringing very loudly in my headset because now the Mac has that, call forwarding feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish there were some controls on that so that you could tell it, not right now.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. Done for real.
Done.
Yeah.
All right. See you guys next week.
Wanna start a business, but you just know how to code? Listen to the EntreProgrammers, and we'll teach you straight up to be developers.